Another way is to make lineage to God. They make lineage to the demons, between God and the demons. First of all, they don't even believe demons exist, but those who do, they make demons lineage with God, and us making demons the gods. And these people who have some knowledge of the unseen, or somehow can interact with the unseen, are fooled by the demons, that they pretend to be gods to them. Especially these people who get into these psychedelics, and they warp their minds to get over to the other side. I mean, there's a good possibility they're interacting with demons who pretend to be either angels or gods, and they take them further astray than they already are. And their desires is what they play upon. Yeah, our
Yes.
desires make us fall into partnering. And this is why has
Mhm.
God given us that desire? I mean, it's a trial. You must fight your desire. If your desire was to be righteous and good all the time, then what's the point of a trial, fundamentally? I mean, like, if we
Right.
are supposed to be all righteous and all good, and we do never evil, never can think evil or can invent evil, then what's the point of having a trial? We'll never do any wrong. So you have
Exactly.
to be able to do the wrong, and you have to have the inclination to do the wrong. So there's one other way. The one simple way of partnering with God
Mhm.
is disallowing what God allows to eat. This is a very simple way that you can partner with God. Somebody says, "Oh, God has disallowed this from being eaten," and He has actually not, which is in the Quran. So where do you go? The Quran. The
Yeah.
Quran is telling you what you can and cannot do, specifically for eating as well, and everything else as well. So then they will say, "Oh, what about this that's not mentioned in the Quran?" No discussion on that. No
Yeah.
argument on that. If
Yeah.
the Quran is not clear about anything, you don't have to worry about it. Then you can look at your heart, and you can analyze from knowledge and wisdom of the book, and it will guide you to whether what you're going to do is right or wrong, or give you a ill feeling or a good feeling about it. But if you make a mistake in that, God is much more forgiving than you can imagine, and He is much more uh, evil than you can imagine as well. So he will forgive for those innocent mistakes or unintentional, when you are not desiring to go against God, when your
Yeah.
intent is to do what is right and you do wrong. God will forgive that. I mean, this is an obvious truth that most people cannot understand. They just look at the evil side of what's going on, and everything evil is God and everything good is you people, right? It's nonsense.
Yeah.
Everything evil is us and everything good is God.
Yes.
But we came from God, so God is evil. Yeah, of course He can be evil. He is evil. He's been evil. He is going to be evil, and He is going to be very, very evil in the end to those who are rebellious, rejectors, wicked, partnering, doubters of God and the hereafter and what's written in the book, until they die, and they will know the truth and immediately will want to believe. So
Yeah.
this is the state of people, right?
Yeah. And God says, right, that, I mean, it says in the book that God doesn't want wrongdoing to the servants, but we ourselves, we do wrong to ourselves, and the evil
Yeah,
that comes to us is
yeah,
because of ourselves, right?
absolutely. So, and when people do wrong to me now, I mean, in the early days when I was totally astray, I didn't understand why evil is coming to me. But whatever evil or bad you've done can come back to haunt you, to do evil to you in another manner which is equivalent to that. The only difference is that God passes over most of our evils, and He punishes us for few of our evils in this life. And most of that is for the believers to turn back to righteousness,
Yeah.
and for the rejectors and wicked to understand they're wrong. But most of us cannot figure out, and we blame the person who's done wrong to us in the evident, in the openness. Yeah. Oh, that guy slapped me. Yeah. And you will not understand why you were slapped, because you forgot all the evil you did in your life.
Yes.
This is a simple example. So, anyway, going back to partnering, so so basically, like, saying this is disallowed to eat, and it's actually not disallowed in the Quran, which is all the so-called Muslims, they're all partnering just by that fact. Just by that one fact,
Yes.
they're all partnering with God, and they're going to hell.
Yes.
Simple. God is clear in the Quran, absolutely clear, crystal clear, what is forbidden or disallowed to eat. It's absolutely clear. Yeah, I'm not
Why
going to
don't
go
you
into
tell
it.
us?
Huh? No,
Yeah.
I'm not going
No.
to tell you.
Okay.
You can go. It's very clear. I'm not going to
Yeah.
tell you. It's clear, and people don't want to know. Yeah, and I don't want to tell them. They can go look for themselves. Yeah. So we're talking about partnering. So when they have already disallowed things that are not disallowed in the Quran, you're going to hell anyways. You can say whatever you want. It doesn't matter. It has no meaning to God. You hold the Quran. I'm talking about the people who hold the Quran. Those who
Yep.
don't, they will be judged for not holding the Quran. You reject the Quran, you're going to hell. You accept the Quran and you do what you're doing with it, like the so called Muslims, you're going to hell. Fundamentally, everybody's going to hell right now. And I say fundamentally because not everybody. When I say all of them are going to hell, it's not like all of them, or all of them who are rejecting the Quran, who are
Yes.
making mockery of the Quran, who are mocking God by their actions and they don't even understand it. Even if they don't intend it, they're mocking God. So this is how partnering. And then the other simple ways, they make sons to God, and they think that Jesus is the only son of God. The so-called Christians, yeah, and then they call themselves children of God. How does
Yes.
that add up? Can you explain that to me? How does this, when they say that Jesus is the one and only Son of God, and then in the next sentence we're all children of God?
Yeah.
Excuse me. And then they call God the Father. Whose Father? And this is total nonsense. They are going to go to hell for saying it. They can do whatever they want. They can say whatever they want. They're going to go to hell for it. I mean, that's
Yep.
clear understanding. Then they make spouses to God, that he has some spouses. Like Mary is supposed to be had relations with God to have Jesus for them, right? I mean, they mix it up into all sorts of nonsense. That's the only way you can be a father if he's a man, God, which he isn't. This is nonsense, absolute, total, egregious nonsense, and wickedness against God. And they will soon pay for it. He's already told them they're going to pay for it. And then the Christians who are running around saying, we're the believers, and the Jews running around, we're the believers, the rest are the Goyim. Yeah, no, no, no. You are the Goyims. Yeah, the believers don't exist except me. I'm the only believer on the earth that I know of, and maybe a few others. I don't know of many. I don't know of any, actually. You people are trying to follow me. You're getting to a level of belief where you may be counted as those who believe. But to be a believer, you must act on the book in its entirety. Those are the true believers. We believe with everything in the book, the good and the evil. Yeah, the lowly examples and the high examples, we believe all of them. They're all from God, and they explain the truth, the absolute truth. If you submit to God, accept your ineptitude in front of God, total nonsense that we are, retarded people in front of God, we don't understand a thing, and God explains everything to us. That's how you need to act in front of God, so that might turn and mercy you and accept your acceptance of who you are in front of him, and teach you like he taught me. I mean, he's taught me everything. I didn't understand a thing when I started reading this book in 2002. I understand almost everything in the book, and more beyond the book, which I couldn't understand before, because the book explains it, and God inspires me through things that are happening outside. He doesn't just teach me with this book, he teaches me what people do out there, how they're acting and reacting, and what they're saying and what they're doing in the world. All that teaches me and confirms what God has taught to me. So now, this one thing I wanted to uh, visit upon, that the word partner in Arabic, those who know Arabic, is shirk. Yeah, shirk, the three letters, sheen, re, kaf. Yeah, and the word for thanks is shukr. Yeah, to
Very
thank.
true. Yeah.
It is two letters flipped. That's how easy it is to go from thanking God to
To part.
partnering from God, or partnering with God. This is you need to understand how fine the line is. And most people who believe, they go from thanking God to partnering wrong without blinking an eye. And God has written in the Quran that most people who will believe will partner with God. They will partner. And it's written. And that's a sad state of affairs that we don't understand. They don't want to understand. And they will say that we don't partner. No, no, no. We don't partner anything. We don't forbid anything other than what God forbid. And I've listened to my parents say it. I've listened to many other people say it. It's nonsense. They will stand that day in front of God, and they will then cry